We are recording and streaming and good to go. Who wants to call us to order?
Well, I'll call you to order. I believe the next thing on our agenda is the election of a temporary chair.
Anyone want to volunteer to be our temporary chair for the day?
I nominate myself.
Okay.
Second.
Let's get a vote.
Paper straight here, okay. Mr. Manfus,
Agreed.
Mr. Oberlin,
Approved.
Mr. Szymanski,
Approved.
and Mr. Way.
Approved.
You?
Okay, our next business meeting is Wednesday, September 8th, 2021 at 12 p.m. as needed. Our next hearing is Wednesday, September 22nd, 2021 at 3 p.m. here in this room. Let's swear in the staff.
Stephanie Kinsler?
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is factual and true to your knowledge?
I do.
Shall we do a roll call?
We shall. Mr. Manfus? Mr. Overly?
Present.
Mr. Szymanski?
Present.
And Mr. Way.
Present.
You have a quorum.
Okay. Has everyone had a chance to review the minutes from our last meeting on July 28th? Could I get a motion to approve them?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Was our second. Thank you. I can't see what the mouse is on up. Shall we vote?
We shall vote.
Okay. Mr. Manfus? Mr. Overly?
Approved.
Mr. Szymanski?
Approved.
And Mr. Way.
Approved.
Motion carries.
All right, we have two new applications. The first is EF 2108001A, 68 to 70 McDowell Street, Kaufman Development is the owner. Jessica Schwerin is the applicant. This is demolition.
Mr. Chair, I'm going to recuse myself. And I will. Okay, you call me back in.
We will.
Yes. We needed 4 to make the quorum for the meeting, and then a majority of the quorum needs to vote on the case. So 3 out of 4 for voting. We're still good.
We have a 14th then.
Great to see you, Kim.
Oh, so he came back. Would you like to read the report?
Yes. So this is, it's actually one application that we're going to break into 2 parts. There's demolition portion that we'll need to look at first, and then the landscaping portion we'll look at second. This is for 6870 McDowell Street, the Prieto building is a part of the West Broad Street subdistrict. The applicant is seeking approval for an expansion of the previously approved grouting to co-live pool and landscaped area as a result of the acquisition of this property. As I said, the application is 2 parts. The first part is proposing demolition of the Prieto garage. And then second, the applicant is proposing a 3,563 square foot expansion of the previously approved pool and landscape area, which will include a portion of the recently acquired property, and they're also proposing 2 new materials. The expansion will allow for the increasing the pool and hot tub area by approximately 700 square feet. It was previously approved at 1,000 square feet, so now it will be 1,700 square feet. And then we'll also include an additional lounge chair area, standalone pool restroom facility. And And then the reuse of the building is not, the Rialto building is not part of this application. The applicant will return for review of that at a later date. As a part of their submittal, the applicant gave us demo plans and elevations of the Rialto building, as well as hardscape and landscape plans, site plans, and then materials and renderings. So I will scroll through the application materials quickly here. Here is the site plan, and this is the Rialto building here. And the garage portion that's being considered for demolition is up here in these red hatched lines. Here are just the different elevations, and then a zoomed in version of that site plan. Existing north elevation, garage, east elevation, with some existing condition photos of the garage. Existing south elevation. And these are the proposed elevations shown without.
So since this is an application in two parts, can we have all the applicants who might be speaking or anyone speaking on behalf of the applicant step forward now?
I guess we can do that.
Swear them in.
I will go through before we do swear the applicants in, I will go through the staff analysis section of
Okay.
this, and give our recommendations, and then turn it over to the applicants. Okay, so part A is the demolition. The proposal is consistent with recommendations of the East Franklinton Creative Community Plan. The plan recommends that historic and other contributing buildings should be preserved to the extent possible and, if necessary, incorporated into the new development. The Rialto garage is the only portion of the building being proposed for demolition due to its advanced state of deterioration. See some of those photos. The applicant is proposing to reuse the building for future tenant use to be reviewed by the board at a later date. And the request also includes the removal and infill of the rear door, canopy roof, and concrete landing stairs on the east elevation of the building as shown in the provided photos. So staff is recommending approval of the proposed demolition, but does request the applicant use salvaged brick from the garage to infill the door opening in the building. And then if salvaged bricks cannot be used, staff recommends the applicant provide details on proposed materials for review and approval prior to use. And then lastly, staff recommends that the infill brick be recessed approximately 2 inches into the door opening to show that there was a door there previously.
Thank you. Any questions for staff? None. Could the applicants, could you state your name for the record?
Jessica Shuren.
Carmine Russo.
And do both of you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is true to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
Thank you.
All right.
Anything you'd like to add?
Yes. Well, thank you. It's great to see you all again. Appreciate the time. So Stephanie did a great job summarizing what we're here for. I'll speak to the demolition first, and then if we want to roll right into landscape or vote first, and then you can tell us. But we are acquiring the only building on the Gravity Phase 2 block that we hadn't previously owned. So we're really excited for this opportunity. We are going to ideally demolish that garage. You can see what kind of deteriorated state it's in just over the years, weather use, etc. It has quite crumbled. There's no roof, whatnot. And so we are proposing demolition of that. We are also proposing to fill in that garage door that's on that east elevation adjacent to the garage. The reason for doing so is we're going to split the lots. So we're going to keep this building on its own lot and then incorporate the building that the garage sits on and the remainder of the land in that parcel into our co-lived mid-rise building. And this is so that we can use it to expand our pool and our courtyard there. So we have to, have fewer openings, from what I understand. Understand what Stephanie's suggesting in terms of using existing brick. As we all know, we can't guarantee until we get in there. I don't want to make any guarantees. I don't feel great about saying we'll do it and then, having to come back because we can't, but we'll look at it and assess with our team if that's a feasible option. Regardless, using new brick, or if we need to use new brick to fill that in, we, are okay with that inset that Stephanie suggested to show that a door was once in place. And, you can't see it on this photo, but there is another photo. At one point in time, there was another opening that was filled in with a slightly redder brick. So that's what we're proposing as well, so that we can stay consistent with that got filled in, who knows, at one point in time. So let me just make sure I didn't miss anything on the demolition. Okay, yes, anything we might do to the building outside of just filling in that garage door and patch and repair related to taking off the garage, we would come back for. So, we get a tenant or we want to do something with that building, we'll come back at a future date for any type of renovation. I believe that is it for that.
I think we'll handle the two applications separately. Any questions for the applicant? I have a motion to approve, E1080001A, demolition of the pre-approved garage.
To approve as submitted. Staff recommendation that we try our best to use existing brick to infill, but it's not feasible. Brick that matches the previous infill.
Second on that motion.
The staff result of trying to set it back.
So would you be, just to clarify, would we be asking the applicant if they cannot use the infill to bring whatever their staff for review?
Seems acceptable. Moved and seconded. Get a vote?
Didn't want to assume.
Get 50-50. Approved. Move on to second half, EF2108001B. Landscaping component of the same site.
Yes, so, this proposal is generally consistent with the recommendations of the Franklinton Creative Community. The plan recommends landscape material and design should enhance structures, create and define public and private spaces, provide shade, aesthetic appeal, and environmental benefits. As indicated in the application materials, additional landscape material in the packet were approved in application EF 19-10-002. And the lighting fixtures were previously approved by the board in application EF 20-03-002. The current request for a new site design, lighting options, and pool deck material are in line with plan recommendations, and therefore staff recommends approval. Staff does note that the East Franklinton Review Board previously approved a variance to the following code development standards in application EF 20-03-002 to allow light fixtures within 25 feet of a residential use to be 26 foot above grade. Is site and here get to a building we're discussing. Here is the area that they are proposing to expand this previously been pool landscape. As stated, 3,563 feet, addition to pool deck. This is the proposed layout with the expansion of the pool, seating, and then the new restroom facility. Applicant has also provided us some renderings. Here are the two new proposed materials. And let our applicant speak to if the pool deck material has changed, and then the synthetic turf is because the new lounder is back.
Yes.
We'll speak to that. We'll have our landscape plan. We'll zoom in on this. Two trees. And here is some information on the materials. This is one of the wall types. It was previously approved. Also previously approved gate. Here are the light fixtures that were previously approved. This number one here is the one that I mentioned. That's 26 feet above grade. And then the applicant provided us to show the lighting where each of those fixtures was located that was previously approved. And then the next page showed the change. Let the applicant confirm, but by my understanding, it doesn't look like anything was necessarily added. It's just something we're shifted around a little bit over here with the expansion. And those are our materials.
Any questions for staff? No questions, so
I give a high level.
you give us the presentation.
Sure. I think, you kind of went through all the slides, so I'll just give a high level, and then if you have any questions, we can go through that. Because of the acquisition of this Prieto property, we were able to grow the pool, which you see, and we've already kind of outlined that. There's a sun deck area within the pool that sits there with those 5 chairs that you see, which is a maximized area for that spot, which is approved by the health department, or the right size that it should be. The reason that we ended up changing the deck was because we had brought wood before to the pool deck, and the health department said that we couldn't use that, so we went with a paver that looks like wood, and that's what you see in the packet there. And then the area just to the north of the pool would be that synthetic turf lawn, which you could use for a multi-purpose area. They could put chairs out there if they want to have cornhole or something like that. They can play in that area. So it's a multi-purpose flexible area. Because we grew the pool, we needed more restrooms because we have some restrooms that were in the building. We needed 2 additional restrooms, which is why we have the building there for the restrooms that we included in the courtyard. And the rest is just lounge furniture that you saw when we were last year, just consistent with what was here before. All the landscape materials would be the same. We just added some more plant beds. And like you said a minute ago, the fencing is the same fence. We just pushed it out further, but it's the same height, same material.
And just one note to add, or I guess a couple notes to add, for us, it was really a decision that the pool in the former size, which was restricted by the site, was just like not going to be a very good experience for people living there. It's still well within the bounds of not having a lifeguard, so like still a reasonable sized pool. Nothing too big, not like some resort in Vegas or anything like that. And then we selected turf on that flex zone because we do anticipate like yoga classes or things where people like might be in the ground, and wanted to make sure that like if it rains the night before, it's not going to be a muddy mess, or people are dragging the chase lounges, it's not going to ruin the grass. And then still have all our same, which I know isn't really in your purview, but wanted to let you know, still have all our same security measures in place, fobbing in and out, making sure that this does stay insular to the project. And, if somebody brings over a few friends, that we're monitoring that, and, all that stuff that our good management company will do. But yeah, that's it.
And to Jessica's point, the red dash line on this plan would be the edges of that fence where there's little arrows where we included, that's where the doors would be or the entry points into the deck. So the whole thing would be fenced in.
Looks good.
Thank you.
Any questions for the applicants on this piece? I get a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay. Mr. Overly,
Approve. Approve.
Mr. Wade is still abstaining. I'll bring it back. You're done.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You can let him know.
It's a big difference.
What?
Your comment about user experience,
Oh, yeah.
I think it makes a big difference.
Thank you. I think it will, yeah, I think it'll make a huge difference.
Are you submitting samples for the inflatable menu?
I know, I love that. We're gonna look back in like 5 years at that trend and be like, what?
You got it at the flamingo.
Looks
Thank you.
good, thanks.
Thank you. Thank you both.
You send Kim in.
Yes.
He's got a lot to do. I think he's out there.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Okay, so we're moving on to other business. First item is maternity leave, staff coverage.
Yes, so hi and bye. This is the lovely first meeting and last one for a while. I will be going on maternity leave effective September 10th. So you will be splitting the staff coverage. Belfast is going to be primarily processing the applications, preparing the staff reports, but Mark Ralston, I'm not sure if you all met him. He will be actually attending the monthly meetings. So just wanted to clarify that. And then that rolls into the next item, the email address. We just wanted to reiterate for everyone that there is a East Franklinton specific email address, and since there will be several hands in the pot while I'm not here, if you have any correspondence that needs to get to us, if you could send it to East Franklinton Review Board email address directly, so that way it doesn't get lost.
Okay. Good luck on your maternity.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Okay, that is the other business. So our next meeting is Wednesday, September 22nd in this room at 3 p.m. Do I have a movement to adjourn?
I move that we adjourn the meeting. Second. Hey.
Okay, we are adjourned.
All right. Thanks.
This meeting is exactly why Zoom was invented.
Exactly.